This is the 2018 Lytton Springs, one of our classic field blend wines here based on Zinfandel that Ridge first produced back in 1972. So over that time we've really gotten to know this, this vineyard and this microclimate here. We're in Dry Creek Valley, but we're sort of at the southeast edge of it where the Russian River and the Alexander Valley appellations all meet. So we get some of the influence from Alexander Valley, which is a warmer inland climate, as well as the Russian River, which comes in from the coast, much cooler climate. So in any given year, there's usually an influence of one or the other. 2018 was unique because it was a bit up and down. There were warm days, but then they cooled off. Spring started a little rough. There was some rain, some cool weather, so that upset fruit set, which meant we had lower yields, and it actually concentrates flavor in the final wine, and also meant that there was much less, many fewer grapes that really had to go through at veraison to drop. So a little easier from farming standpoint. And also when we got to August, where typically in this area it really heats up, temperatures remain moderate. So by the time we got to harvest, right around Labor Day, we were able to sit back a little more, pick a little more carefully, had more time to really select each individual parcel when it was at perfect ripeness. The vineyard is actually made up of about 32 different parcels, so we pick each one at ripeness and we ferment them all separately. And then in the fall, usually just after Thanksgiving, when the wines have gone through malolactic fermentation, we will taste each one of those individual parcels separately and then pull out which ones we think are the most typical and really the best for making a Lytton Springs in any given vintage. Really beautiful nose, a lot of complexity to it. There's the fruit from the Zinfandel. You get some of that brighter fruit also from the Carignan. Some toasty oak in its youth. And a little bit of, there's sort of in the background you get a little bit of pepperiness. It was just coming from the Petit Syrah. And on the palate, very recognizable with, again, that raspberry fruit, but then immediately you get some firm structure, which comes really from the vineyard. A lot of clay in the soil, which lends itself to a bigger shouldered type of wine. And of course, the interplanted Petit Syrah is bringing that, bringing that color and that tannin to the wine. So in its youth, enjoyable, but definitely we have here at Ridge very often we pull wines like this out as old as 15 years, and they've really aged well. I mean, really developed a lot of secondary aroma, softened, beautiful complexity. So a Zinfandel by name, but really a wine that we feel represents a real terroir, really a wine of place that merits aging and delivers a complex sort of experience, especially if you have the patience to age it for at least 10 years. So cheers.